Today we finally got our first proper look at Google's Pixel 10a, and this one comes with confirmed specs, new colors, performance upgrades, and even the official launch window, so there's a lot to get through. So let's start with the good news, and that's that Google is giving the Pixel 10a a bigger upgrade than we expected. So first up, performance, and it's not using the brand new Tensor G5 chip, but it's also not a downgrade from the previous model. The Pixel 10a is running a boosted version of the Tensor G4. It's clocked higher and tuned for better efficiency, so it can keep up with Google's newest on-device AI features. And it still gets a solid 8GB of RAM plus 128 or 256GB storage, which is pretty much exactly what you want at this price point. And of course, because it's a Pixel, you're getting all of the latest AI features, including Magic Q, Camera Coach, and things that even last year's flagship phones didn't have at launch. So despite being a budget model, the 10a is shaping up to be one of Google's smartest devices yet. Now, something else that's smart is today's video sponsor, Filmora, the top AI video editor that now offers plenty of tools to help you create high-quality content fast and efficiently. Editing your footage and you run out? No problem, you just use the AI Extend, you type what you want to happen, and then Filmora creates the content for you. And here I asked a hand to pick up the phone. Now for shorts, we can automatically generate dynamic AI captions and also pick a template, giving us epic on-screen text in seconds. We can even generate a whole short from a prompt, and here I asked for someone to accidentally drop their phone and break it. For those of you doing data-driven videos, you can even make quick animated charts from a spreadsheet, and here's an example of me doing that here. And of course, these are just some of the features, and Filmora is packed full of useful editing tools to help you solve any problem. So whatever your needs, Filmora is going to help you create high-quality content quickly, so check it out now by clicking the link down in the description below. Now let's talk display, because this is one of the biggest upgrades. The Pixel 10a is getting a 6.2-inch 120Hz OLED panel with improved color accuracy and brightness up to 2200 nits. And yes, the Pixel 9a was actually listed at 2700 nits, but multiple independent tests proved that that figure was actually inflated and the real peak brightness was just over 2000 nits, so this is still a legitimate improvement that you're definitely going to notice outdoors. Now battery life also gets a bump, it's moving to a 5200 mAh cell. It's not a huge bump, but considering the Pixel 9a already had great endurance, this should easily push you through a full day, even with heavy AI use. Now here's something fun, and that's the colors. Google is reportedly launching the Pixel 10a in 5 different options. It's going to be black, blue, dark blue, red, and green. And the renders you're seeing here are based on those leaks, but the exact shades aren't confirmed just yet, and these are just approximations to give you an idea of what you can expect. Now before we look at the design, we need to talk about the launch date, because there were loads of rumors saying that the Pixel 10a was going to release this year, but that was never realistic, and we can be pretty sure now that's not happening. The Pixel 10 just launched in August, so there's no way that Google are going to drop a phone immediately after, but we've now got solid information saying that the Pixel 10a is going to arrive in early 2026, with insiders pointing to a March launch window. Now let's talk price, because this is where things get a little less exciting. According to the latest reports, Google is strongly considering a price hike for the Pixel 10a. Nothing's final yet, but insiders are saying that Google may push the starting price above the current $499 or £499, and they're going to bring it closer to the $550 to $600 range, depending on the market. Now this isn't too surprising, as the phones are getting a better display, a bigger battery, upgraded AI features, and a boosted G4 chip, but it does mean the Pixel A series could slowly be creeping out of that super affordable sweet spot that it's been known for. Now finally, the design, and we've had the design leaked thanks to OnLeaks and Android headlines, and they've delivered the first full look at the Pixel 10a's CAD-based design, and if you've followed leaks for a while, you know OnLeaks is almost always spot on. Now using that information, I've created these 3D renders, including the in-hand shots, and the only thing I've had to estimate are the exact color tones. Now Google is sticking with the familiar Pixel A series look, but there are a few subtle refinements. The phone is slightly shorter and a little narrower, giving it more compact feel overall. It's also about 0.1mm thicker than last year, and that's most likely because of the larger battery, but it's of course not something you're ever going to notice in the hand. Now up front, we've still got that edge-to-edge display with a punch-hole camera in the center, and then around the back there's a nearly flush camera bar that continues the same clean dual camera layout the A series has been known for. Now, the hardware itself remains similar to the previous model, but with Google's latest software enhancements, we should still see some sharper images, better color processing, and a more consistent result across the board. But of course, for those excited for the Pixel 10a, we're now going to run through the full specs, design, and the expected pricing to help you guys decide if it is worth the wait. So with the Pixel 10a, we get a 6.2-inch flat OLED display protected by Gorilla Glass 4. It's a 120Hz Full HD Plus OLED, and we get a peak brightness of 2200 nits. We've got a punch-hole camera top center, which houses a 13-megapixel 1/3.1-inch sensor that's got an aperture of f2.2. And then over on the rear, it's a 48-megapixel primary camera with a 1/2-inch sensor and an aperture of f1.7, and that's paired with a 13-megapixel ultrawide with a 1/3.1-inch sensor and an aperture of f2.2. The phone is going to be equipped with Google's Tensor G4 chipset, but it is going to be a boosted version with higher clock speeds and more efficiency to bring improvements to performance, efficiency, and AI capabilities. And it's coming with 8GB of RAM and a choice of 128 or 256GB storage. Now we're expecting a 5200 mAh battery with some slight improvements to fast charging, and we're also getting support for wireless charging as well as 5G, Bluetooth 5.4 and Wi-Fi 6E. Now the phone is going to be shipping with Android 16 out of the box, and launch is going to be held on March 2026, and thankfully the price is expected to remain the same as its predecessor, and that means it's going to start from $499 or £499, which is a great price for such a capable phone. So overall, the Pixel 10a stays true to what the A series does best, delivering a reliable everyday Pixel experience at a much cheaper cost, and of course we also get a genuinely capable camera. Of course, it also delivers Google's latest AI features in a much more affordable package, and hopefully that price doesn't change this time, although reports say it could. But it was never meant to be a dramatic redesign, and Google has clearly followed the same formula as previous years, so because of that, if you already own the Pixel 9a, this isn't going to be an upgrade for you. But if you're on an older device, or maybe you're looking to try out your first Pixel, then it could be a great choice. Now, of course, launch is still a few months away, and we're going to get plenty more details as we get closer to it, and I'll be covering every leak as soon as it comes in, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing in the future.